5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turntables activated. Get ready.
The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world.
You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. Phenomenal radio. We are what radio should be. You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
Holy where'd you find this?
You're locked into the number one online radio station.
Here we go!
It's not that your radio sounds strange. You just found a station that plays what you like.
Phenomenal radio.
Radio just got a lot more fun. Thanks for listening.
Audio Forensics. I am your audio forensics analyst, host, co-host, and brother at Slatestone Music, founder, owner, operator of The Plug Room with my partner at The Real Dick James in here holding it down with us, the Industry Plug magazine, and DJ Despair holding it down for Street Killers Entertainment out in Canada, who will be plugging in with us. But this is Audio Forensics, where we dig deep, deeper than most into whatever it is we're analyzing. Mainly we try to do audio, you know what I mean? Any form of audio. It's not just music, but any form of audio. Get into the mind of the person, get into their thoughts, get into some of the sights, the sound, see how they can recall, tap into some of those dynamics that allow them to produce or create whatever it is we're analyzing via a brand, art, whatever it is, via audio, as we're doing today. So we appreciate you tapping in. Again, in here with my co-host, co-owners, co-operator, The Real Dick James, anywhere online, at Slatestone Music, anywhere online, the Industry Plug magazine, Audio Forensics, Phenom Radio, the most versatile hip-hop station in the world. Dick James, what you got to say, man? What's going on, bro?
Peace, love, and light, family. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Awesome. It's great to be here. You know what I mean? After we just got hit by this immaculate snowstorm down here in Mississippi. So the sun is shining. We here. Feeling pretty good about it. Let's plug.
Sir. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir, brother. So again, man, much love and respect, man. Salute to you for tapping in, man, and bringing us your gifts and talent and skill sets and jewels and history. We're going to get into this history of the Industry Plug magazine, Dick James, on another level that some may know and may not know. But for instance, from what I know of you, we've been working together for some years, been in some different situations, and you have a great brand as far as I know. You're doing comedy shows, you're doing award shows, you was doing music as an artist, you got a magazine, publication, physical and digital, blog sites. You have a versatile network from what I can see, from my vantage point. And so in the mix of that, we've come together, the creators allowed us to come together. And I want to start off by, first off, saying again, thank you for that. But I want to know when this Industry Plug idea was created in you. How did it come about? Where did it start? When was the seed planted? When did it begin to flourish and then develop into the Industry Plug magazine? It's on you.
2020, during the pandemic, I was working as a curator with World Star Hip Hop. And I was curating a lot of top A+, A and B artists. And then I ventured over into the underground independent artist categories. And I became the #1 requested curator on World Star Hip Hop in 2019, 2020. Pandemic shut us down and stopped my comedy shows. I was going across the country in the Southeast, Indiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina. And I had like a 4-month tour that was scheduled to come in January 2020, but because of the pandemic, we was on lockdown. And so, man, I started getting like depressed, and I started going through it, bro, because I had a lot of time, a lot of money invested in a lot of venues, and there wasn't really much I could do about it. So I had a revelation, and I just started listening to music, listening to production that I had on file for like 5 years that I put on the shelf because I was taking care of my mother. She was diagnosed with bone cancer in 2017. And so it helped me relieve my mind because it gave me a safe space that I could go within the mental and the emotional and the spiritual realm. Because in the physical, I really couldn't do nothing but be there for her in every way, shape, form, or facet that I was capable of doing. And so I asked the Creator to remove me emotionally, because I didn't know how else I was going to be able to deal with that. And that's what the Creator did, removed my emotions and strengthened me mentally and physically. So whatever it was I needed to do, I was able to do it. So when we got on lockdown and I was listening to music, I was also listening to my other conscious, and my mother was speaking to me. And she was like, "Son, what are you doing? I understand that you're dealing with a issue politically, but musically, it's time for you to get back to what you have been doing, what you were born to do. You've been practicing business for the last 10 years, and you've been helping everybody that you can come and counter with in every way, shape, form, or fashion that you learn to do so. Now it's time for you to help yourself. So you got to get back to recording your music." And I became real emotional because for the first time, I was speaking to a spiritual being that I lost in the physical. But I was so aware because I was missing her presence that it became very aware to me instantaneously that she is no longer with me in the physical, but she has never left me, and she shall remain in my conscience and all my actions. And so our relationship became tighter. And so she guided me telepathically through the recording process because I was becoming emotional. I was transitioning from a hip hop artist to more of a R&B artist, something that I was afraid of because my mother was the voice of the Golden Triangle area community, and something I didn't know about before I came out the womb because she never said anything about it. I learned about it from my family as they realized how serious and sincere I was about music, because the seed has been planted in me since I was at the age of 2. And I couldn't even remember that. But before my uncle passed, he pulled out Reel to Reel in 2006 out in Kentucky in the studio. And he showed us, he put it on the wall, and he showed me, my nephew, a couple partners, producers from Atlanta, South Carolina, a couple artists from Louisville, Kentucky. He showed us that reel. And that's the first time I saw myself as a kid for the first time. And I had a guitar in my hand. And he said, man, that's where the music seed come from. And I was like, wow. Wow. All my life, I've been doing a whole lot of different things. I was pretty great at sports, baseball, football. I had scholarships. Been winning trophies since I was 10, 11 years old. Most valuable pitcher. Started cutting hair in the 8th grade. So by the time I got in the 9th grade, I was a self-efficient, self-employed barber. So I was cutting probably about 200, 300 people head throughout high school. So my skills and my talents were working out for me. I didn't even have to get no job. I got a summer job when I turned 16 to show my mom I was responsible so that I could get my driver's license. But she didn't have to do anything really to put any money in my pocket. The only thing she had to do was take care of the food, take care of home, basic necessities. Because she taught me how to get up and go. And so did her brothers. And my big brothers also were leaders. So it's like, man, it's a seed planter ethic. My grandmother forced me to take piano lessons when I was like 12 years old, during the time that I thought I was a little ladies' man, a little playboy, and I was highly into sports. But she made a deal with me. She told me I didn't have to stop doing anything that I was already doing. I just had to make time to take these piano lessons because it was something that she wanted me to get before she left the earth. I said, all right, Grandma, no problem. I did that. Not realizing that today, these are the reasons why I can't shake music. It's in my bones. I recorded a song in 2007 with platinum recording artist Big Bug from the multi-platinum R&B group Today. And in that song, I said those lyrics. I can hear Jimmy because I stay off in a zone. But if it wasn't for the music, I'd have a pocket full of stones. So you know who I was influenced by, even though I was a soldier during this time period. It gave me an escape. Music gave me an escape. And so I got back to recording in 2020 because I had a revolution of everything that I'm saying now. Something that I don't even recall ever doing, really. Sitting down during a moment where you just really to yourself, with yourself, because there's no other place that you can be at this time and place. So it was a lot of growing, a lot of holding myself accountable, and practicing the things that I had been teaching and speaking for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years to so many different artists from so many different places. And I had an opportunity to pour into me, and that's what I did, bro. And I had never been an emotional character. Never. Man, I cry like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just got paid, because it's mental and it's emotional strength from a man and a male perspective. And it helps us reduce a lot of unnecessary tension and stress. So I cry, man. And a lot of the times when I cry, it be positive emotional tears. I learned to tap into that spiritual growth, emotional growth. And so this journey with this R&B music has taught me something that I never knew, which is the reason why I was afraid to get into that realm of music, because my mom was great. Every Sunday morning, Missionary Union Baptist Church, the first church in this community, I had to be there, man. I had to be there. All due respect, because I had to be there with her because she had to care for me. But all the way up till I was 17 and I joined the military early, she signed for me to go in. I had to be there. It was in my mind and it was in my heart because she was my provider. She was my siblings' provider, and that was evident. So I had to be there. My mom was the voice of Missionary Union. I used to hide down and duck down in the back of the church in the seat, man, trying to hide and get away from her. Because soon as she get up and she got to singing, that voice arose. It's like the whole church looked back to the back, like looking for me. Because my brothers and my sisters, they were in the choir. I wasn't in the choir. I couldn't be in the choir because I wasn't old enough. But all my young life, I was taken care of by my elders, so I wasn't used to not being with them doing what they were doing, whether I was actually participating with what they had going on or not. There was a time where my brothers and sisters couldn't go if I couldn't go with them because mama got to work. So I got used to that. I wasn't a kid in a kid's body and age. I was a kid physically, but mentally, I was a bit more mature than, my peers. Because of this reason, I got to hang out with the elders, and I got to see and learn a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have got to see and learn during this time period. And with that education, it allowed me to be light speed ahead. So I'm very happy because this music journey has also allowed me to become a businessman. 2002, I was a performing artist in Columbia, South Carolina. And I got gassed up and I jumped in a talent show for Hot 103.9 FM and Blackground Records. And Arnold Taylor, who today is the CEO of SCMG South Coast Music Group, and The Baby, and Tusi, and Tia Karan and Black Zach, multi-platinum status. And I won the talent show. And people were just flabbergasted. Because it's like from out of nowhere, boom, a hidden gem. And I've been amongst them the whole time. The T is, though, I wasn't from South Carolina. I'm from Mississippi. But I had been in South Carolina so long because I was stationed there as a soldier that a lot of people was coming out of high school and I was 17, 18, just joining. I left going into the military basic training in South Carolina. Got shipped to the war. 3 years later, came back, stationed Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So I grew up, became a man in South Carolina. And then as I began to expand myself musically and business-wise, North and South Carolina became my business stomping grounds due to people like Big Bub, people like AJ Savage from Columbia, South Carolina, who at the time took me in and gave me my first actual recording session on the house because he felt my spirit. And he was the top A&R for Clive Davis over at Arista, Elektra. And they were on the midst of creating J Records. So he was big time. He took into your boy Dick James. And let me record into a $150,000 studio and then charge me nothing. Blew my mind. I went in there and it's like, yo, I dropped the ball. He was in there laughing. I was in there in my feelings because I had never been put on the spot like that in pressure bust pipes. I was a kid. And he told me, yo, it's not a problem because you're my man. I just really wanted to show you that I'm that dude. And as long as you take it serious and you get your stuff together, you're always welcome to come back. So that's a relationship that was always in place. Arnold Taylor, Charlotte, North Carolina. Jay Jackson, Delicious Vinyl, Capitol Records. And the list goes on and on. All the radio station program directors, radio breaking DJs, man. I don't care to use the word blessed. However, people can prescribe to that word. It simplifies things. I just really been blessed to be in a lot of great scenarios, bro. And music is the reason why. I transitioned from an artist to a businessman because my mind was always in a business perspective. And so it gave me an opportunity once I released my first 2 records. The marketing skyrocketed me to where I had 100,000 plus streams on both records in like 90 days. So I did a press release and a lot of different publications came calling. One particularly that stood out was Starter 101 because it had been in the game for like 10 years plus. Well, 9 years plus on the East Coast from out of Norfolk, Virginia. They put me on the cover. And in the background, we were talking. The opportunity of business came up. I jumped on it because I knew it was going to create an opportunity for me as an artist, but for me as a businessman, because I had a lot of artists that were following and supporting what I had going on from the years of practice and going across the country, giving underground artists opportunities. Because in 2015, I got sorted out by Universal Music Group through Record Union. And they gave me a distribution deal. And it was through the program through Sony Music. And so what I did, I used it to help other artists. Because I wasn't recording myself, I was taking care of my mama. It gave me a period of 3 to 5 years to get myself together and to see my business situation through with my mom. And once I got that taken care of, it took me 2 years to be able to move on without dipping into my emotions. So when the pandemic came, it forced me to just become business, man. I created an LLC so that I could run across the country. Everything panned out. 2021, the relationship between me and Starter 101 became rocky for different reasons. And I didn't want to let go of the movement that I had because I brought a lot of artists to Starter 101. So I needed to find a way that I could keep that business camaraderie going. You know how to do it. You were a co-partner. You were one of the main authors and writers. You brought 60+% of the artists to the table for cover stories, articles, write-ups. Man, go ahead and just create your own magazine. You got so many people that know you. You got a relationship with so many people across the board. You earned a A1 reputation. Come up with a name that's gonna stand out, especially when people who know you find out that it's you who's behind the whole movement. It's like, yo, I was just listening to everything and everybody who made an impact in my life, and I knew for a fact, as long as I followed whatever guidance or kind advice they offered to me, at some point in my life I was able to apply it. it was a plus. So I always go back to the basis or the basics. And these particular people are always have been and will always be a part of the basics. That's how I created the magazine. I created the magazine 2021, bought the website 2022, went on a marketing campaign 2023, called a lot of my celebrity friends, got a lot of exclusive interviews, got a lot of exclusive cover issues and cover stories ready to be launched. I got some great partners right here that I'm sitting here with. Now you guys are a part of the basis and the basics because you guys have given me room, given me camaraderie, and given me an opportunity to continue to grow and develop and build with people who have status, if not on the same level or greater. And the whole mission was to build a team or be a part of a team that was open and willing to be able to be operative and functioning so we all could collectively benefit from it. And the people that were willing to trust and build and grow with us and invest in what the services that we provide, they'll benefit from it too. That's really what it comes down to, Stone.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir, brother. Indeed, for sharing that. Salute to DJ Despair in the building, holding it down here on Audio Forensics. My last question before you interview DJ Despair here on Audio Forensics. We at that 26-minute mark. But I want you to spend a little bit of time, as much time as you need on this right here, brother, because you shared a lot. And we want the listeners, the users, the fans, the observers, the naysayers, when they watch this, they're not going to get it all in one stream or one broadcast because there's years and years and years of work, sacrifice, effort, and commitment put into this. So you have to really do your research, check the artifacts, and tap into what's going on in these situations and put it to the test and see if it's real. But with the Industry Plug magazine, what value, and this is no vanity or arrogance because none of us have shown that, and they can find that in track records, but what value would you say the Industry Plug magazine brings to those who utilize, connect, build with? How do they plug in with you? What value do you bring the user or the person, the consumer, but also the business industry and industries?
Certification, that stamp, that global stamp. And one of the reasons why, I'm going to shout out one more executive who's been absolutely instrumental in my press, my media, my marketing career. And that's my uncle, Angelo Ellersby, Double XL Exposure. That is the greatest urban male publicist in American music and entertainment history. He took me in 2007 when I was a personal assistant of Big Bug. And he has been the publicist of every superstar, legendary entertainer, music great that we can name or pull out of a hat. Rest in peace to Prince. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Gladys Knight and the Pips. Gladys Knight. Robert De Niro, his wife, Cookie. Mary J. Blige. Shit, Sean Diddy. Sean Diddy's whole Bad Boy Records staff, including producers and all. Easy Mo B. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. M2 May. Shaka Khan. Melba Moore, Dionne Warwick, you name it. This is where I get this inspiration from. It's like, because they trust me and they believe in me, man, they give me the keys. I just have to be real particular about who I allow to come in. You guys have shown value. No fugazi. I've had relationships in recent past with people who wear a mask. 2023, in the 2020 vote, we pulled those masks off, and they are no longer part of our progress. We're here because we've been called, we've been chosen. We offer some genuine perspectives, and like DJ Despair, man, that's a whole Canadian connection. You can't fumble relationship like that. That's a winning, that's Super Bowl. That's the long bomb. I'm going for the long bomb. Throw it in the corner end zone. I don't care what it takes, I'm gonna catch it. You the play caller. You called the play, Stone. I'm the top receiver. Despair the quarterback.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Well, if there's anything else you want to share before you interview Despair, and again, shout out to everybody tapped in with us right now. This is the Audio Forensics. We are the founders. We are the hosts. We are the ones you need to plug in with. Anything dealing with audio forensics, hashtag it. Audio Forensic Stream, Audio Forensic Stream. You can hashtag that or follow any of the channels. Hashtag the Music Doctors. Check out DJ Despair, Street Killers Entertainment. Research it, any search engine. Check out Dick James, Kilmo James, the Industry Plug Magazine. Hashtag any of them. Check those channels. Any search engine. Hashtag Phenom Radio, Phenomenal Radio, the most versatile hip-hop station in the world, Slate Stone Music, The Plug Room, whatever it is you see here. None of this is happenstance. None of this is coincidence. This is all by design. So hashtag it, do the research, plug in with us. But again, Dick James, before you tap in and plug in with Despair, let the people know whatever it is you want to let them know in this minute, and then it's on you.
I got one more shout out. Rest in peace to my cousin, Big Mike, Michael Ellis. Mike was the man down here in Mississippi. Mike said, "Cuz, I need you." So what you need me for, cuz? I need you to help me get right. Mike was with Universal and Universal Fontana. Mike was a record breaker. Mike had all the relationships on the third coast. I went from Mississippi to Louisiana, to Arkansas, to Oklahoma, to every part of Texas that's economical for us as urban artists. I got to go to Southwest 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So all those places, those cities, and those states, I went as the road manager because he introduced me to all of the radio stations and all of the program directors and all the record-breaking DJs. Shout out to him, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked him to do that. I was East Coast. I ain't know nothing about the third coast, except I'm from Mississippi and I got family everywhere you can count. 35 states. He did that. So I got relationships on the West Coast, third coast, down south, East Coast. People was calling me the plug. You got a lot of industry plug. You the plug, man. You the plug. That's where the Industry Plug magazine came from. All right, cool. So if I'm the plug, then the Industry Plug magazine is why I'm going to use that name, because I didn't identify with that name. But for a marketing reason, yeah. So go to www.theindustryplugmagazine.com. Keep up with the latest. and keep up with what's coming soon. I appreciate y'all, man. It's been a 100.
And it's on you.
James.
It's on you, Dick James. You in control now.
What's good, DJ Despair? How you doing, brother?
I'm just happy to be on the mothership. What's going on?
I see you. You dressed all weather. You know,
No, we're
cold
ready
weather
for
now. What's going on with the
war right
weather?
now. You ready for war? You said we're gonna do an interview and speak on it. We speaking on it. I came prepared. What's going on? Audio
No doubt
Forensic,
about it.
Slate Stone, salute. Thank you guys for everybody who voted. I won the Canadian Choice Awards for Best DJ Company. Business. Not DJ, not artist, business. And first Black-owned DJ company to win an award in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Don't know in Canada. Got to do my research. But also there was 2 other Black companies that won for radio and for food. So they only picked 3 out of each city. So I was really honored to be part of the history.
Yeah. Shout out to you for doing that. You're absolutely right. We talking about business, and that's the reason why. But you're also a great DJ.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how did you get into DJing? When did this DJing thing say to you, come on in here, man, let me show you something.
I was born
I got
40
something I believe you will like. Check me out.
Well, 48 years ago, I was born into this world, or 49, you want to put it technically, how they age us. My father and my uncles were like in the entertainment industry. One of my uncles was a big time radio DJ, a radio host, and TV personnel from the Caribbean. He graduated from radio in Toronto in the 70s, 77, I guess when I was born. My dad and everybody, my family is basically very musically talented, from cousins who are soca reggae artists or soca artists to my dad was one of my inspirations. He had turntables in the house from the time I was born. So basically I grew up with turntables, and then I grew up breakdancing, learning a lot of things. Uncle was a DJ also. My family is a big influence into who I became as a DJ, but also the do's or don'ts where I learned to grow as a business outside of just being an entertainer or a DJ, where I got into DJing because we were breakdancing and my friends were rapping and we had no DJs. So I basically picked up 2 turntables from my father, my aunts, my godmother, and certain people that helped me, and ended up collecting records with a lot of friends and family members at the time. And I was running around with a wagon with turntables, a mixer that I made out of a tape deck. Because you remember those old school tape decks you used to get where they had the balance and the channels on it?
And yeah, and you can have
So I converted it to the right side, to the left side to be the channels. So I used the balance fader to basically be like the crossfader. So it's just like I just learned how to, maneuver things. And as a young kid, I was really into technology and learning things. Like you could put a sampler, anything in front of me, and I'd figure it out within less than 24 hours. And it's grown into being around roller skating rinks to I fell in love with hip hop, fell in love with scratching, and I started off as a turntablist. I didn't really care for playing. I just like turntabling. I just like taking 2 things and making something. And then later on, I realized I had a talent. When I got to about 16, 17, I realized I could do parties, like real parties, like club side and da da da. But turntablism was my main passion. But I saw the money in the other side of it, and the money making at that time anywhere over $500 in the 80s '90s as a DJ was like really ridiculous back then because there was barely any DJs around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you played certain places, you made a lot of money. Depends on your skills or what you could do. And over the years, I ended up going from throwing house parties, legendary house parties out here, from mixtapes. We were like basically I was being bootlegged around the world and not even knowing until I went to certain places. New York, I was walking down the street with my dad, saw somebody with my mixtapes on their table. You know, went to Toronto. One of my homeboys had like, well, he's a good friend now. Walked past the table and I saw my mixtape sitting there. Didn't understand how he got them. But then I made deals with people to start flooding my mixtapes in different stores, different things around Canada and some places in the States. And we used to mail them out, the masters, to certain people back then. And people didn't understand that that was a very lucrative income to a lot of DJs until the DJ Vlad incident happened and
Right.
Violator and all that. And, you know, all the DJs in the game kind of had to stop making mixtapes because everybody got basically busted, if you want to put at it. So
Right.
they were finding all the DJs at one point for making mixtapes. Then a lot of us took a hit, but but your mixtape was your portfolio, you know, was your identity. You know, people hired you because of your mixtape. People wanted to listen to you because of your mixtape. You became popular because it was your first basically digital stamp as a DJ. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
mixtape game was very enlightened to me to break artists and to break stuff, but I didn't realize my power later until I started to actually work with artists in the industry and realized I could use that power to break records, to break an artist. And I've been doing it since I was younger with the mixtapes and stuff, but I never realized what the power was with it because I was just doing it to be an asshole to other DJs. You know what I mean? I just wanted to go in the room and just slap you in the face with shit and just walk out. Because I come from the sound clash area, like the sound boy area, like the sounds. I watched speakers being built. I carried speakers up on stages, excuse me, and buildings. You know, like stairs and all that when there's no elevators in places. You know, a lot of my strength came from just lifting speakers and equipment. If you really want to think about it like that, I didn't really need a gym, but the music, it was my way of expressing myself. It was the way of me expressing my feelings. It is a source of relief, if you could say. Like when I get around music, it's like heaven. Like I get to enjoy that moment of making people happy, that moment of people learning a song for the first time, being able to meet people like you and Slate Stone and a lot of the people I know in the industry, becoming friends with my peers, becoming respected by my peers. It's becoming respected by people I literally went against over the years in industry, to becoming good friends with them and working with them now. And you never thought years ago, all the records I broke, I'd become Rough Riders. I'd be working with Wu-Tang. I'd be working with certain people. And, you know, this game has changed my life a lot to the point where, even like you said earlier, I got to talk to Melba Moore. Who the hell gets to just talk to Melba Moore? And she follows me, likes posts, go back and forth liking things. This is the reason why I do this, because even the other day when I won the award, having someone like Doc Ice shouting me out and making a post to celebrate my wins, and not even my own homie that hangs with me every day does something like that. You know what I mean? Or people will celebrate your wins. But somebody who started breakdancing from the Ed Sullivan show and all that stuff till, you know, was one of the first
Pioneers
breakdancers
of
ever on
hip hop,
TV. You know what I mean? They're the
rap,
pioneers of hip hop. These
and
cousins,
breakdance.
and his family was Houdini, rest in peace. You know, like there was a lot of things in this world that people don't seem to understand is that, like you said earlier, being around your peers and the pioneers, if you never grew up that way, because some people, they grew up in celebrity households, some people stuff, and a lot of people didn't grow up in struggle talented households, where there was everybody was talented, but who got out? who was able to take that next step, who was going to take that risk, who was going to play safe. Because a lot of people in this world want to be workers. A lot of people don't want to go and take their craft to the next level where it's like, I'll DJ on the weekends, you do that stuff. And then next thing you know, it's like, when did you go to Europe? I'm like, oh, our album, an album I had involved with an artist, Reddy Rock D. I did the mixtape side of it, and the next thing you know, both albums charted. Oh, well, what made you do that? Mixtape game, the shit that we've been doing since. Sometimes people forget, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just relax and let it flow. Don't rock the boat. But how many people actually listen to that song? How many people actually paid attention to positive hip hop? How many people actually paid attention to motivational hip hop? Because most people rather hear twerking, hands on your knees, like instead of knowledge of self.
Right.
It's a different aspect of life when it comes to music. So I wanted to be that voice that played the real, not the fake. And I got to a point in my DJ career where I felt that I was being jaded by breaking certain records or breaking certain artists or using the power for evil instead of good. You know what I mean? And now we're in a position right now where underground hip hop, knowledge in music and spoken words is coming out heavier now because people like us kept it alive. We kept pushing it. We kept supporting it. And to even sit here and talk about legends, a lot of people can't do that. Got to interview Chuck D. How many people can say they did that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things in life that this DJing thing gave to me that it gave me a sense of relief from the world because I was always involved in chaos. And I tried to keep it outside of this world, but sometimes it comes in it. You get some bad seeds, you get some bad people you work with. Some people try to sabotage us for working with each other. But It's just like, no matter how it goes, you're going to jump over hurdles. You're going to get to the truth. The righteousness will prevail. Like, this is how the world goes. Absolutely. So basically, me being a DJ was just like, you ever watch Dr. Claw? Like everybody always talks about the superheroes. I sometimes like the supervillains because Dr. Claw, all these guys in there think, I was the day I got my screens in my studio and I was like, okay, I did this. And then next thing you know, I'm like internationally putting out records, doing all this other stuff, connecting people to each other and going against the grain. And sometimes you have to do that because what you think is righteous ain't really righteous, right? And people are hiding from the truth all the time when it comes down to music. Some people rather rap over their lyrics instead of have a DJ's confidence of holding down your tracks behind. You know what I mean? If you're not confident in your own music, how could I be confident to be your DJ?
Say it one more time.
If you ain't confident in your own music, how could I be confident to be your DJ? You can rely on me. I ain't gonna screw up, but whatever you give me is what I'm playing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And there's a difference between a professional DJ and this is the fly-by-night DJ. Not every DJ does everything. Some people are just meant for the clubs. Some people are just meant for radio. Some people are just meant to speak on radio. Some people are very talented that they know it all. And then they got a lot of people who take credit for their credentials and all this other stuff or use you to realize they don't have the talent you have, but they're going to rely on it to use it to try and make themselves look good. I see this every day in the industry. It's hard for me to even collide with a lot of DJs because I don't like a lot of DJs. You know what I mean? It's not to be like mean or try to fight or nothing, but I don't like people who just do it for the girls, do it for just do it. Like, you have a power to break your best friend's record. You have a power to put people in position. Use it. But some people are afraid to even play a new record until somebody else plays it.
Right.
Or they're still stuck on playing Biggie, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? It's like the safe zone tracks because everybody's still stuck on playing things. But a lot of people don't realize there was a new Biggie album dropped during COVID. No one touched. There was a lot of things that dropped during those times that no one touched. But what are we to know? if you don't tune into our radio platforms like Slate Snow said, if you don't turn stuff, how are you going to respect the DJ if they're playing your record on every network they're on and you don't even support? Like seriously, 7 radio stations, 9 shows, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
today you missed out the show if you didn't tune into Phenom Radio. You know what I mean? And you could also catch that shit on my app too. Like me and Slate and a lot of people became technical in this world where being a DJ is just only one part of it. Being a rapper is only 15% of the business. You
I'm
know
gonna
what saying?
piggyback off of that.
Go
No
on.
matter what perspective you look at it, or what perspective you're looking from, the DJ is and has and always will be the master of the ceremony.
Well,
the DJ was the original producer.
Jam Master
At one
Six.
time, the DJ was the producer and also the MC. So DJing is where it really came from, because a lot of the DJs could break dance, they could sing, they could do everything. I'm not a DJ because I didn't have those special skills that are required to put into developing and be able to even give yourself that name, because a DJ is just a DJ. Hell, I could play a CD and call myself a DJ. I could push a button on a tape recorder and let it play and call myself a DJ because I'm playing music. But that's not a disc jockey. That's not a real DJ.
Well, you
That's
see,
not a real master of the ceremony.
what you described is a real DJ, because a disc jockey is a total different concept. When you got a turntablist, when you got a technical DJ, there's 2 different aspects to where you got to think of the club DJ versus the producer, the engineer, the DJ, the show. Because speaking on what you said about master ceremony and stuff, I follow these words to this day. Jam Master Jay said, the DJ is the conductor, right? You know, he controls the band, he controls the music section, the rhythm section, he controls the crowd, he controls everything to you do from the minute you walk on stage till you go through your show till you end the stage. The DJ is there at the beginning and the end. And a lot of the artists in the game just think that their 15 minutes of fame got them somewhere. Their little thing and all stuff, but then I sit there at shows and look at people going, you just got off stage and I got another 10 artists I got a DJ for. And you think you just did something. You know what I mean? Like, how did you stand out from those other 10 artists that was on stage? And if I didn't make you look good, how would you have looked good? Because there's a lot of artists on stage that just go on stage. They don't have nobody who knows how to rhythmically cut tracks during their stuff, save them if the track doesn't play well, bring it back if there's like a problem, like in the middle of the set, and make it look like it was just part of the show. It's your reaction, your whole demeanor, your whole mind state when you walk in a room. Problems could happen. Am I going to fix this? What's going to happen? How many artists are going to screw up and bring the wrong USB files? How many people are going to have to sit there and what you call it, airdrop? How many people are going to have to sit there and you know how many artists I've re-edited and mastered their tracks while they're performing so I could even play the Soretto?
I can only imagine.
Like, a lot of people don't seem to understand what goes on behind the stuff with the DJ, and while we ask for, you know, certain pays and certain stuff, because not every DJ deserves certain type of money. You got guys who are getting paid just to be glorified pump fists. And then you got other DJs who are really technical to be a thing, ran the whole show, made the whole show sound nice, made everybody good, was in tune with the sound man, didn't go over the bars with the redlining. Like, there's not a lot of people in this world that makes everybody in the room feel comfortable by the end of the show. And these are the reason why I got nominated for awards, why I won awards, why I'm doing things. Because if you don't keep it real in what you're doing, it's just like anybody comes around you and says, I could do this. And if they don't do it, they're full of ish. They're gaslighting. They're bothering you. Because a lot of people in the world don't come into your world for blessings to actually help you build. Because if I didn't have you guys and a lot of my team, the Street Killers team and stuff, my brain would be everywhere when it comes to being a DJ, because you lose passion sometimes in this game, because sometimes artists don't make you feel even wanted. And you go out there, you playing records, you going to people, Slate, check this artist out. Timo, look at this guy I got on here. Yo, what are you people thinking? I'm sitting here with distribution from every type of record label possible. We sitting here with connections to every type of thing possible. But one, people don't have the bread. Two, I ain't gonna go all the way out there to go put you on if you're gonna walk away from me when you get there. And that has happened so many times where people lose faith of the momentum. It may take 2 to 3 years. Took me 38 to get an award. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at it. I've been nominated, I've been positioned, I've won awards with other people. But to be a ground up company from a thought in your head, and from all the trials and tribulations of going to prison, getting stabbed. Like, there's a lot of things that has happened over the times that people tried to stop me from being who I am and hated me for being who I am, because I don't fall well with the packs. I don't follow with people, and I'm my own person, my own individual. So when it comes down to the whole DJing aspect, I want it to be so much like the plug that I became the room. I want it to be like Walmart, not like the corner stores. Now, I hate on the corner stores, but I want to be that big hub with a whole bunch of brands. And I turned Street Killers and my businesses into that by working with Phenom Radio, where I met Slate Stone at Nerve DJs. To shout out to Johnny O, my big bro. If it wasn't for Johnny O's guidance on a lot of things in this mixtape game, I went to learn the business side of it, how it works, how the network and bring artists in and actually promote them properly. Yes, I had a free way of doing it, but it was good to talk to an OG to actually show me the right way of doing it and how to use my power without abusing me or using me. You know what I mean? And then there was a lot of people that was hard to do these things with, because when you become a network plug, when you become an industry gatekeeper, when you become that person that people can get on shows, do arena shows, do concert halls, do all these different things and all that, and your track record and your resume doesn't only just run days, years, it runs like decades. You've been doing things for decades. How could somebody who's just been doing something for 3 years and went to school and stuff and kill out somebody who's been doing it for decades? Basically, it's a part of your body. It's you. And there was a point where I went to prison. Did 2 years, came out, and people thought, "Oh, this guy he ain't going to DJ again. He ain't going to be the best thing again." And da 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 da. Man, I came home, and sorry to say this, but once you have a trigger finger, you don't forget that. You don't forget that after. And that's how I look at it with music, right? It was just like most people were so excited to come home from jail to a girl. I was coming home to turntables and a mixer. That's the one thing I wanted to learn. And, and then after that, someone tried to take my life 10 years after that. But I made a goal and a plan to not go back to prison by making a list. And everything I've done on that list has been complicated at times, but I accomplished it. And without thinking about it, I'll go back to the list and be like, damn, I accomplished all these things. Sheesh. And then you give yourself that 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, the 20-year plan, all these different things. And now we got TV networks. We got radio shows. We got touring, bookings, music coming out, track placements, track analyzations, all these different things in life that people don't seem to understand, is that we built this from our minds, and we joined up with other people who had the same mind state, just made a movement. I'm going on tour soon with Six, man. I've been on tour with Ready Rock D overseas. Never thought I'd be doing that, but it happened. You know what I mean? I've done reservations across Canada. Been to the Junos enough times. Been to Canada Music Week, where it's like the big industry hub where everybody meets and talks. there's a lot of things as a DJ itself, being on radio, college radio, being on the boards of things, just having a resume is the one thing that gets you further. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that that's a big thing in life. A resume, a digital backprint. You know what I mean? What have you done? That's cool. But what have you done lately? Nobody listen to Jan Jackson? What have you done for me lately? What have you done lately? And this is the reason why I'm just sick and tired of this industry these days, because there's a lot of people in this industry that still talk about what they have done, where they've been, but have no proof. We the proof. We sitting here right now talking. You know what I mean? And I appreciate this time to even speak on things, because a lot of people want you to dummy yourself down and hide who you are and your credentials and shit, because they don't want people to see who you really are as a person. But sometimes it's hard to even put that up there, because sometimes people want to use you for all the things you know. So it's really hard to actually do both. You're basically yin and yang, right? Because not only as a DJ, I do digital graphics. All my graphics you see online are me, except for the stuff that Slate and some of the companies do for me here and there. All my marketing, all my advertising, all my algorithm movements, my monetization, hitting 90 to 80,000 on different pages. So all the stuff was just my mind saying, I want to be bigger and better. How do I do it? How do I learn? And if you don't learn or go take little courses or little stuff, you're never going to understand how to keep educating your mind and being a bigger person. But some people just want to be one identity. I want it to be a hub.
Shout out to the DJ, because hip hop was born by way of the DJ. Hip hop gave us perspective. Hip hop gave us a way of life, and it gave us a way out of harm's way while we were growing and developing as youth. And by way of the DJ, well, hip hop by way of the DJ gave us MCs a job opportunity to enhance our talents and our skills as writers and authors and reciters. We're grateful for the DJ, so that's why we're going to show gratitude to the DJ, because if it wasn't for the DJ, where would we go listen to music at? Because during the time and the era, we didn't grow up dancing and juking and jamming to live bands. We were excluded from that due to age and due to the genre of music. Hip hop gave everything rebirth. It revitalized every form of music. So today, hip hop is still vital, and hip hop gave life for marketing, media, press, promotions, advertisement. Publication, audio recording, visual, everything that makes us popular today on every playing field. I'm grateful. And the DJ is the catalyst of all of the above, because there is nothing really that we all gather to be entertained by amongst each other that doesn't involve music. And it's not just some sound guy, random button pressing. It's somebody who actually has skills, who really know how to do what you've been saying. You gotta know how to run the show.
But you see, like, do you ever understand that in this game too? Some people forget it's not just us. Like, I got 6 kids. I got 3 grandchildren, 1 on the way. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just me doing this because I love this. It's also funding and taking care of things around my home. It's actually giving me, since I stepped back from working in restaurants and a lot of other stuff and just put main focus on this, I've had more time to spend with my family. Because leading up to COVID, I realized I was running around with my head cut off. I didn't even know what I was coming and going, because I was catching up on borrowed time. And then when COVID hit, it gave me 2 years of like revamp. I turned around and changed it for the better and got to learn, hey, I need to know my business more. I need to handle the business more. We need to get into the business more. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, I'm doing all these things, but where's the money? Yeah, we getting money, but where's the extra money? Where's the longevity? Where's the equity? Where is the wealth? And a lot of people in this game don't understand is that to be in music, you have to be educated. You literally have to be educated. When I was hustling back in the days and I was bored and I was driving around reading newspapers, looking for articles for jobs or random things, and I found a center for business course. Went and took the business course. You know what I mean? Back then, they were offering free courses everywhere. It just needed to fill the room with bodies. And I got my certificates. I got my stuff through that. I hung out with engineers my whole life. Rest in peace to two of my favorite ones, my boy Ash and my boy Rups. Both of them died from suicide. But it was a big, messed up part of my life where certain people didn't get a chance to fully express their music. I'm sitting on a lot of past rappers. I'm sitting on a lot of music and knowledge from people that don't exist no more. I have projects with people that don't exist that's hard to put out because there's a lot of emotional attachment to it towards me and towards other people and certain things like that. It's like being a DJ, being the type of DJ I am, it's hard sometimes because when you play in a record and you actually know the person that died, that could be an emotional situation for you. And a lot of people don't seem to do that. I put a lot of passion and heart into my music, especially if you listen to my radio shows. I speak through my shows. I speak through my hands. It's the way for me to express how I feel, just like I do when I post memes every day. If you think my memes are bad, listen to my mixtapes. Listen to my radio shows. I am the worst. The memes is just a 10% to what I do on the radio shows. Because if you really listen to the music I'm playing, I'm taking shots every day. I'm speaking on this every day. It's not like I'm sitting there and I just need to make a meme. No, I literally live this life where I put songs out that talk to you, friend or foe, who to trust, where are we going with this, well, stuff. Most of the songs you see I like is stuff that actually speaks on it. But a lot of people, they want to dance, they want to hear the beat, they don't want to listen to you if you rap too much. It's like a 15-second rule this year, like in the world now. It's like, if you can't press me in 15 seconds, why am I even going to pay attention? And like you said, now people are dancing for their food more than ever. And I'm not hating on it, but it's become the TikTok era. So how do you compete with that? I could go online and do DJ sets all day, but why am I going to go show off my skills so you can go take it?
That's what the so-called being in competition does for the competition striver or the competitor, because they're looking for somebody to aim at because that's who they really look up to. And rather than just saying, I admire you, bro, sis, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if I can outdo you.
But a lot of
really
people
not
just want
getting anything by trying to outdo someone. But what you should be learning out of trying to outdo someone is that you can, when you apply yourself, actually accomplish some things. And it doesn't require you trying to compete against someone else who's just doing what they enjoy doing.
Hey, there's certain people in this world that will compete with you that are not even doing what you're doing. And that's the worst. Because we've been in situations where I got put up on billboards. I help people get podcast interviews. We help people learn how to run a system. Slate and I figured out a lot of things from me, him, Quan James, of getting our own apps. You know what I mean? Like, I had an app that Slate and everyone, like, one point, we were the top guys in the crew that just had an app. And we've had our app since, like, I can't even say over 10 years now. You know what I mean? And some people don't understand that certain DJs will help each other. Certain people that are not DJs or whatever people help each other, but then you got certain people that they will overuse and over abuse the help.
They help
And
themselves too.
and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then not give you credit for what you did because
Right.
they felt that they just needed to speak. But when it comes down to the hand of actually doing the work, I don't care how many people have been around me for the past 20 years. What'd you learn? Because if you learned anything, we would be sitting here eating together. But majority of the time, people just learned what to take from you, to take the information, run with the information, but can't do the work. Like me saying I'm a carpenter and I get to the spot and I can't know where how to plug into a sander. But yet I'm telling you I'm gonna go do your tabletop. Then I screw it up. You don't pay the company because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
I
how it's
told you
supposed
I
to
did.
work. It don't supposed to work no other way. You get
But you
paid for
see,
what you know how to do and for what you complete.
right, and that's why nowadays you got these people just hiring any type of DJ because they're cheap. You got people hiring any type of engineer because they're cheap. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to spend quality to get quality because they don't understand that you put out a project and you have my name on it. This producer, so you say you got me, Scott Storch, and back ad libs by Kanye West, and this by this, and da 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 da. But you're not going to give those people credits. So you put out the record, and people are guessing who's involved with it. But you could have been the top of the charts if you would have gave the credits to everybody else who was involved with it. It's not name dropping, but that's who was involved with it. But you think, nah, I'm going to put it on and say I did everything myself. There's a lot of people out there that hold on to other people's royalties instead of actually just putting the royalties into a motion. They need to be in control. They need to have things over your head. They need, and that's the worst part in the world, is they need to do these things. Like no one's thinking, hey, yo, if I make sure he's good, we good. So let's pay our DJ here and there and let's make sure he's got his stuff popping. Nah, we're gonna be up in the club partying every week and we're gonna complain that we're broke. Then we're gonna complain that you were doing what you should be doing with your money, but I didn't do what I was supposed to do with my money. You know how many DJs out there that don't even have equipment, let alone own their like record pools or anything to have the right music? Most people, they're just flying by day. Like they're just flying. Like they're not letting their business actually grow and show um, morale and consistency and integrity. Because in this business right now, I could lie all I want. How you gonna find out? I'm in Canada. You know what I mean? But if I
Right.
didn't have the credentials and the stuff popping off and the consistency, and you could go watch my stories, that's a big thing. But you got a lot of people out there, when you go on their page, all you see is promo. You ain't seen no DJing, you ain't seen no club events, you ain't seen no artists at the events, but they're selling you a show that they're gonna say that they can pack the place with 1,000 people. Well, show me one of your videos that did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot we could talk about. There's a lot we can get into, but just to give you the brief, we don't say we just a plug for nothing. I am the plug. I've been the plug. I love being like the plug and the gatekeeper. I love what I can do for people and help. But at the same time, I just want respect in the same way because I've lost a lot of people for disrespect. You try to teach people, you try to tell them things, but they think they know it all. And then in the end, shit happens to people that don't listen. And that's the worst part about it. You can't go back and blame somebody because you didn't listen.
Accountability, bro. That's the motto.
Man,
Got to
Sugar
be
dead.
responsible and you got to be liable.
Facts.
Got to be both. At least that's how I rock. And I love being able to assume that position because I trust me. I know that I'm gonna do what I'm assigned to do. And be it that something comes up that I can't, I'm knowing that ahead of the game. So I'm gonna give my partners head up because they're gonna have to pick that slack up for me. And I don't need them having to fall off the wagon because I'm having to deal with something that's not allowing me to be who I'm normally, guessed up to be. So the key to it, always being fluent or having the opportunity to always be fluent, is open dialogue, open communication. I am my brother's keeper. Yes, I am. And I love that responsibility. That gives me something to feel good about. When you establish that trust, there's no telling what we are able to accomplish.
Facts.
Because you have talents, you have skills beyond normal measures. And all we have to do is come together, use our brilliant brains, and we can build and develop whatever we choose, whatever we decide. The DJ is the man round here.
Well,
I'm happy to have a DJ collectively who is able to do those type of things, because we got some real grind hard, outstanding DJs on our platform. Shout out to DJ Roski. Shout out to DJ D South. Shout out to DJ Sean Swift. Shout out to EJ the DJ in the background working for me on something real special. You guys are outstanding, man. Without the DJs, I don't know what the radio station would be doing.
And it's funny that you bring those guys up because, like, those are my peers. Like, to this day, we all support each other. And, it's like some people try to tear us all apart because we're a talented conglomerate of DJs that are very good at what we do. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of DJs these days is putting out records. Like, I got mad records coming out now with artists like J-Wise. We have a remix out with my boy Eclipse, Tough Dumpling. For this track, Him. We did 3 versions of it. We haven't even got a chance to release the album yet. There's a lot of talented DJs now dropping records on a regular. Shout out to my boy Ritz. Shout out to my boy DTS. We're about to get into some crazy shit with that because DTS is one of the longest running DJs out of Toronto for the radio station called the Master Plan. The Master Plan show at CITC. But it's like, if I didn't surround myself around the DJs that did it, because a lot of people don't understand is I come from a legendary DJ sound crew called Soul Controllers. And Soul Controllers, do your research, do your thing on this. They were one of the biggest sound crews in the world that did the remix game back in the days when Black Chinese, Mighty Crown, and Chinese Assassin, and everybody was doing those mixtapes. We were also part of the remix circuit when those remix compilations like 88er Records and all that stuff that used to come out back in the days. A lot of those chant records that you hear of some of these days came from a lot of the guys that I work with. And at that era, remix, smash ups, and all that stuff was a big thing for us. Nowadays, people just do it because it's digitally easy to enhance anything and do stuff. But taking 2 records and just putting it together was like, okay, I'm going to take the Mary J. Blige acapella and throw it over Mobb Deep. Next thing you know, Mary J. Blige has a song over the beat later. You know what I mean? It's like, these are the things that inspired a lot of things for it to be happen, where a lot of the stuff that we did as DJs have now become the pillar for actual artists and mixtapes and everything
Standard,
now.
baby. Yeah.
Right? Because you got a lot of producers now producing like their sound selector, where they're cutting the tracks, repeating things back. They're making it sound more intriguing, just like how a DJ would chop up a track. And it's
remix.
But you see, not even just a remix anymore, just the regular tracks are even being more open, where I could take the words and re-scratch back and play with them. But nowadays it's hard to remix a track now because they play with the beats a lot. So that gives me a more creative aspect to flip other things and play around. But you see, if you're just a club DJ, you're not going to think like that. You know what I mean? If you're just around the way DJ, you're not gonna think like that. Because ever since I watched the movie Juice when I was a kid, I always said I ain't gonna just be local. That was never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That was it, bro.
that was one of the first movies that actually got my head going, man. Besides
Yeah.
Fresh Groove and all that,
Yeah.
like that really got my head going. It's like that's the route I want to be. And I did go into DJ competitions, Red Bull, DMCs.
Yeah.
Done so
And
much.
it wasn't no MCs or nothing, just the host.
Just the
The
host.
real rapper, the real MC was just the host.
Hey, I remember battle raps used to be a DJ and two MCs and a host. You know what I mean? Nowadays, there's no instrumental. We get it. You want to spit bars and just talk all day, but it does. I miss rappers in battles going over in beats that to test their skills if they could actually be talented on any type of beat you throw at them. Anybody can just freestyle in the air. It's simple. Half of the tracks
The
that are
DJ
out
gonna
right now.
open you up. At least the DJ opens my mind up because you're often thinking of the next thing to say, especially when you are really freestyling.
Man,
It's
sometimes
not
I
a
think
planned objective. So when you got a DJ that's hitting it, bringing it back, oh man, come on, bro. That give you a moment to breathe. That give you a moment to regather yourself, and that give you a moment to switch it up and take it to something else, or go harder on what you're speaking about at the time. That DJ, man, that the DJ is the producer.
yep. And most
You
of
know
the
what I'm
time,
saying? And sometimes the DJ and the producer are separate, but then when you put them together or they're the
no,
same entity,
the
yo,
DJ's always been the producer. If you really go back to Jam Master Jay and everything from the beginning, there was no producer. It was him taking two records, going simultaneously in the booth, and
DJ
going back
Molly
and
Mall,
right. Because you remember the Walk This Way, they only took the instrumental and cut that
chicka
up and
chicka
played with
chicka
it.
turn
Right.
turn turn
So it's
turn.
just like
Yep.
if you look at it, really go back and look at these DJs and stuff. Every time they went on stage, the records they were using were actually the instrumentals or the breakdowns.
Yep.
Because until you put everything actually onto a record after, everything was just you sitting there with six different records having to do the hook, the drop, the breakdown, the beat kick. If you're lucky to have a drum machine, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things that people don't understand. It wasn't easy being an MC. Remember, you know how many times walking into a room and hoping that the cassette player doesn't eat your tape?
Yep.
Then later on, we got CDs, hoping that the CD player doesn't skip.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then so that all took up. And then nowadays, you got USBs now, and hoping that their tracks are analyzed properly, and they're not encrypted or wrong wave file, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
over the years, it just changes, just different technology, same issues. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
a lot of rappers show up on stage and want to do sound check now. Why? You're rapping over your lyrics. Why do you got to do sound check?
Right.
You know what I mean? And sound engineers are having a lot more problems now with artists because they don't know which vocal is mastering when they're playing the beat or their artist is rapping. How are you supposed to master an artist's vocal when you can't really hear it clear because he's got the lyrics in the song too? So there's a lot of factors of what a DJ is experiencing in the back and trying to make you look good, but you don't make it easy. And salute to
Absolutely.
the artists that make it easy, that respect and really know the craft of the DJ and just basically have freedom of leaving the DJ alone to do what he's got to do.
No doubt. No diggity,
And
no
nowadays, it's hard to be around certain promoters too because a lot of promoters are telling you what to do. And I'm sitting there going, if I wanted to be like every other DJ club, I wouldn't be here. I'm trying to change the thing. But no, people don't know this music. Dude, from the time we started music, who knew anything? Anywhere. You were in the East Coast, you were in the West Coast. How'd you know about No Limit Soldiers?
doubt.
You know what I
Really
mean?
don't.
Like in a real though, in Canada we're blessed because we get hit with everything. But in the States, if you ain't from the South, you ain't really not listening to the South. If you in the
Right.
West Coast, you're not really listening to the West Coast. How do
Right.
I know about Detroit rappers? How do I know about Chicago rappers? How do I know about Mississippi rappers? How do I know about LA and Atlanta rappers? Because I decided to spread up my diversity. But there's a boom bap underground artist in every city. But just because certain demographics of songs and the way music is, people are just thinking it's just one way. And not people not understanding that there was a southern rapper out there who got crazy bars. But because of his environment, he needs to do southern music.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it sucks that way. Look at how long it took for a West Coast rapper to actually rap like Game
Yep.
and be taken serious, like Kendrick and the rest of them,
Right.
right? But what were we used to for rapping? The OGs, Son of Bees, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the Mark-ass gangsters. And then you used to hear that stuff all the time because that was the pattern for gangbanging music. That was
Right.
the certain
Right.
thing. So, right? So, how do you separate gangbanging music from traditional club music when gangbanging music is club music?
Okay.
You can't tell me you go to no club and don't hear anything coming from Dog Pound, Dr. Dre, Snoop on
It's where you're gonna
TV.
hear that in
Right?
the club, if not in your
Right.
own private vehicle or in your own
Unless you
home or
that type of
wherever.
person that listens
That's
to
where you're
that.
gonna hear that.
Right. Well, facts.
The streets
Right?
and the club, that's the same thing.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how do you, as a consumer, find new music? The DJ. And that's what it's missing right now. I remember going to the clubs and playing records, and people going to the record store the next day, and the record store is calling me and asking me what did I play the night before.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
That's
people Shazam that shit right there in the club, and if they can't find it, they mad at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
DJ,
like,
baby. That's that power.
and please
When you're
stop
when you're
rolling
on
up with your
top of your
phone.
game.
Hey, in this new world, this new industry, yo, you pissing off the DJ every time you roll up with your phone and put it in the DJ's face. Go to the club, go to the parties, and enjoy what's being played. If you want to hear your track list of the stuff that you want to play, wait till you get in the car, wait till you're on your way to work, wait till you're at home. But when you're out in an environment, and yes, I know you paid money to come out, I know that stuff, but you came out to be entertained. You don't go to the front of the stage and tell Drake what songs to do. You don't put up your phone and tell Drake to go change the set. You don't tell Snoop to do the same thing. You don't tell Kendrick to do that. You don't tell people in the industry what to do when they're the talented and stuff. Especially like Jazzy Jeff and certain people like that. That is shameful because you know what you're getting when you went in a room to see these people in the first place.
That's why you spent that money and you did that business arrangement. Respect the DJ, salute the DJ, let the DJs eat. With that being said, I want to thank you for coming on and for being very diverse and giving people something that they probably wouldn't have even considered paying attention to because they see DJs everywhere they go, or those who claim to be DJs. You're a real businessman that happens to be a DJ and earn a living. So shout out to you and the Canadian, relationship that we have. We appreciate you. It's your time to interview one of the true aspects that allows us to be where we are today. It allows us to be in this very visual presence. And shout out to one of the greatest. Since I've been on board, from my experience, he the man. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be able to talk to each other right now. So do your thing. One
Shout out,
love
shout
to Slay Stone Music.
So, yo, I want first to say I give this man flowers. Me and Slade have been through a lot. We've been in this game for a long time. We've introduced each other on both of our own platforms. and it's an honor now to do this again. It's Slate, tell us where it started, man. Tell us how it all started.
Salute to you, brothers. 1,000, man. Just sitting back, taking it all in. We can do what we want on this platform. So, I learned from both of you even more outside of our working relationships, just hearing you all express your stories and experiences and whatnot. So salute to you all. As far as Slate Stone music anywhere online, I don't know where to begin, bro, because music has always been a part of my life. The seeds were planted before my birth. Talents, musicians in the family, all those different experiences up until, where we at. Is it Phenom Radio, Plug Room, 1,000 Network, Audio Forensics, MCing, The Nation, like what, Slade as a person, Juan Carlos X, like it's so much, bro. And we all have our different stories, but, as far as Phenom Radio, Slate Stone, I started out as a musician in church, started around age of 12, down South Texas, organs, keyboards, pianos. It started there, and then it went from playing in the church and being around that and being exposed to different music when I could get to it because I was a preacher's kid. Then it was making beats, investing in equipment, bought a Korg Triton around, I was 20 when I bought the Triton, but I had a Korg N264, I want to say, and a Planet Fat Emu sound rack. I think I had that like at 17, 18. So, just early investing, but way before Fruity Loops, way before any of that stuff, when producers, when you heard of producers, or when I heard of producers, and I'm thinking just off top because there was a lot, and I'm thinking in the rap, I'm thinking of Quick that plays multiple instruments. Jermaine Dupri plays multiple instruments. They were playing the instruments in the sessions. You know what I mean? And so I was trying to be that, and so I got invested in some equipment as a teenager. Recorded the first tape. And of course, in high school, it was funny. We had the mall, and you could take an instrumental in there or whatever. Me and my cousins, or me and some cats from high school. The first group was called Wig Splitters. That was our group. It was me and two other cats, man, his brother and his older brother. And we was in high school together, and we was writing some flows. And I was elementary with it. I didn't have one group, a certain genre or area, demographic of rap I was listening to or was exposed to. Again, I was a preacher's kid, so I couldn't get it at home like that because that was worldly music. You know what I mean? So I had to get it when I was at school with my cousins, at my friends, catch some TV videos over here, whatnot. Anyway, started recording around that age, professionally in a studio in the mall. And then from there, recorded some records with my cousins. Then around 18, 19, got into a studio, recorded an album with my cousins professionally. A couple thousand went into that. And salute and much respect to my mother and my father and those that truly loved me and invested in me at this time and through my life in many ways other than music. So that happened. I'm producing beats, doing a gospel hip hop album, the one that was professional, which was not accepted at this time. They was not messing with no rap or worldly music. Joined the Air Force around the age of 20. Bought a Korg Triton, hooked up with my brother up in Wichita, Kansas. And this is before radio. I'm about 20 years old, hooked up with him. He bought a Korg Triton. We felt some kind of way because we was grinding. But we was like, at that time, a Korg Triton, $3,500, depending on how many keys you was, $4,000. So, you know, those were our little chains, and our chains and stuff was like, shit, I just dropped 4,000 on the core try. Like, what? Like, oh, I got this, you know, in Sonic. Like, okay, all right, well, shoot, let's do it. So we put it together. Me and my brother hooked up with some other brothers, other cats that was some MCs at the time. So around 2000, without getting into all that, Full Blown Click was the first group outside of the gospel that I was a part of around 2000 to 2004. And we put over $10,000 into a project studio. I have 4 other brothers we was recording with. There was a female artist in there and another artist, but he wasn't really in the group. We started a label. And we thought this was back when it was consignments, one sheets, demos, record deals. It wasn't none of that 360 stuff. It was still A&Rs. It was still like talent shows still meant something. You know what I mean? If you got exposed, like Timo James said, at a talent show and the right person hear you, then that was a good thing. But we was always grinding. And during this time, we in and out of clubs, going up on the road, pressing up units. Like I said, real units. You know, it was a time where people were burning CDs, and then you had the greenbacks because the burns with the stamp, with the sticker on the front, or they had a laser disc. But we showed off by having it pressed up with the barcode, the silverbacks, you know what I mean, with the shrink wrap, the whole booklet on the inside, 4 or 5 pages, because you know that was costing. 2,000 units out the gate, you know. So we was like, all right, I got work. You know, we wasn't showcasing the illegal like that. You know what I mean? We was showing our work. And so anyway, it started there, MCing, evolved from there to working with DJs, traveling, doing shows and whatnot. To 04, went back to Texas because I was in Kansas. So I went from Texas to Kansas, Air Force time for several years. And there was other places in between that. And then from Kansas back to Texas. And there was no radio presence. It was FM was still popping. So you had Live 365, but FM was where it was at still. But there was no independent presence. And so we were trying to work that in a city called Lubbock, Texas. When I say we, me, and my brothers from Kansas, because I was traveling back from Kansas trying to get our stuff on the radio. And they would let me do show intros like at the lunch hour. I could do an intro for the DJ, or at the 5 o'clock traffic jam, they let me do an intro, but they were not playing any local music or underground, as they called it. So we kept pushing. I met another cat by the name of Slim out there in Lubbock, and we start grinding together, and that's a whole story. Some of it's online. We hooked up, started pushing, broke into FM radio. While all during this time, still traveling to DJ conventions, pressing up units, pressing up flyers, pressing up posters, hanging them up everywhere we could. At the gas stations, trying to sell them, put them in a little gas station stall, slapping stickers everywhere. That same grind that we seen, especially out here in Texas, but what we knew of Master P was known really for pressing up his units and taking it everywhere. But in Texas, you know, the H-Town cats was on it. Swisher House, even in DSR out of Dallas, they was on it. King Kali out in San Antonio when he was with a Third Degree, I think it was Third Degree Records, they was on it at this time. And so, you know, we were in West Texas, you know, that I felt we were at the top of that game at that time. So anyway, we're doing all this, finally broke in the radio, FM, got an independent hour on FM out there in Lubbock. It then went from 1 hour to 2 hours, and then I was at the radio station 6 days a week, not getting paid. I always want to put that out there. I was on that radio station, took one of their shows to the #1 show. We had the #1 show, but took one of their established shows with industry music to the #1 on that station, up there 6 days a week, and didn't get paid 1 penny because that's how they do, you know. So I should have learned from that. But I'm still thinking, all right, we're going to get heard. We're going to get this. We're going to get that. We're going to get this. We're going to get this deal. And stuff like that would come without getting into all that. Eventually, that started fading out after a year. We picked up on our online. we went to Live 365, and at this time there was no TuneCore, there was no DistroKid, there was no TuneIn Radio, there was no. This is back Napster still days and BitTorrent days, where you had to get music from. Like he said, DJs, you was having to get underground stuff from bootleggers. You know what I mean? That was bootlegging the music, really. So we broke onto the Live 365, and then Phenom Radio came from FM. That's 6 days a week. We had a Sunday show that was 2 hours, and this video's online circulating. Y'all can go search it. The history of phenomenal radio. So it went from music, producing, rapping, MCing, the radio, FM, still grinding, doing all the other stuff, producing, rapping, MCing shows, to linking up with DJs and building our own platform, which created Phenom Radio, the most versatile hip hop station in the world. Been streaming independent artists over a decade, networked and built with thousands of DJs as the DJs here, and people here like the Industry Plug and DJ Despair, through that networking grind. The Nerve DJs, Fleet DJs, Core DJs, all of them. You know what I mean? Like, no bullshit. Like, really, damn near all the DJ coalitions that was doing something during that time before there was a mix show, label or title or any of that stuff. We was working and getting them events with those guys, pushing our brands as rappers, pushing our brands as radio hosts and DJs and an independent platform, and hooked up with good people and learned from good people, met the snakes, cut the snakes, ups, downs, all that comes with the industry. And I'm kind of summarized, diluting the story because it's a lot to go through. Like, this is almost 20 years easy in the making. And so that's basically where it came from, and still honing those skill sets, growing, learning, connecting with real people, learning from the mistakes, not stopping, staying consistent, staying committed and dedicated to it. The advancement of independent artists and the culture, like Despair said, preserving the knowledge, the 5 pillars of hip hop. If you don't know what those are, like, it's 2025, bro. Hip hop ain't just drill music and rap and twerk. Like, dope sticks killing niggas every 5 minutes. All your lyrics is nigga and bitch and fuck this every other word and ass, eat pussy, my pussy wet. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's not, it's a form of hip hop, in my opinion. It's a part of hip hop, but that is not just what defines hip hop. And it's back to the real shit. So you get stuff like these brands here. Hashtag the 1000 Network, hashtag network distribution, hashtag network distribution specialist, the Plug Room, Phenom Radio, Phenom Artifacts, Slaystone Music, Let the DJs Eat. Man, I've been fortunate and blessed to work with guys like you see here on the screen. And of course, the people and the team that we have built and worked with that have helped build the brand through the years. These guys here have helped build the brand. You know what I mean? It's not been a situation where it was like, this me, do what I say, I want it all, and you get what I give you. Everybody at this situation, for the most part, we've had our people come through and want to do what they want to do and take from it, but they're no longer here. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the people that come around this machine, in this machine, bring to this machine and uplift and build this machine. And it's built that way. Like, you can't tear it. It's built to self-sustain itself because everybody wins what you put in. Like, it's an independent advancement platform. And so we all been building from it. So salute to all those, the history of Phenom Radio, all the DJs, the thousands of artists we play 24/7. The stream has been up down there 15 years. Only been down maybe 2 months out of those 15 years when we had to transition because of the industry shifting. Live 365 was getting sued because Spotify wanted to be, iHeartRadio wanted to be, Pandora Radio wanted to be, all these entities wanted to be, so they had to cut out and monopolize, and there was acquisitions and all that stuff. So we had to shift the game and shift our platform we had built for years to a whole other platform. So that's the only time the Phenom Radio, Phenom streaming has ever been down. But other than that, it's been like 15 years strong. nothing but independent artists, DJs from all over the world spinning, playing independent artists. And that evolved, and all that evolved to the plug room where you can plug your business and plug your brand. Audio forensics is a portion and birthed out of this grind and all this, the industry plug, DJ Despair. And so here, man, and hopefully that's it in about 10, 15 minutes I'm going to give y'all, but just tune in, man, and do research and plug in with us.
Yeah.
See, since you've been the industry plug and your transition to Islam and all the stuff that, growing into the men we are today, how does you feel now that the knowledge that we have and the knowledge you have to bring to the table now to help artists, why do you do it? And why do you feel it's necessary that you do it?
Because there's a lot of different dynamic or different levels to that question in itself, or a lot of reasons for me. One of the main reasons is because we can't be who we need to be unless we do it together. And jewels, I didn't make this up, and I'm paraphrasing it, but jewels are not meant to be kept. They're meant to be given. You have treasures and skill sets that can enhance. Just think of this. I didn't build this computer. I didn't build this StreamYard platform. I didn't build how to make graphics. But if these people in these places did not put that out there and do it, some won off of it, some stole the idea and ran with it, some helped. Like, you have to give. And you have to pour out of yourself as much as possible. If God gave you all these gifts and you have all this talent and ideas and things that you can lend, I'm not saying give it out carelessly to everybody, because everybody ain't worth it. Some people don't know your value. You know what I mean? Some people don't know your worth. Some people don't deserve it. But if God has given you the opportunity and the gifts and the skill sets and jewels to enhance this world we live in, enhance somebody's life, lift their mind up, change their life, create opportunities, better our environment, who are you to hold that? Who are we to hold that?
Right.
Who am I to hold that? So when you ask me why I do what I do, I've been in situations where I didn't get $1. And I didn't know people was talking behind my back. Maybe I was naive, but I was giving them the
benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. Trying to be a brother, and that's what it's supposed to be about. But at the end of the day, everybody don't look at you as family and whatnot, and that's part of life. But I do it because this is what we're born to do. This is what I was born to do. I'll say that because not everybody does it. The gifts that I share and the stuff that I give from the knowledge that I've acquired and that was poured into me has prompted me to the fact of pouring that out. Because this hour was poured into me and you get this from me, imagine me pouring that into others and they doing just a piece of something with what they were given from the creator above, because the creator gives it to all of us. That's my mind frame. Who the creator is for you and yours, so be it. No disrespect. But it all comes from an essence, the source. And so we got to plant these seeds, bro. We got to grow and move on. And what's for me, what's for DJ Despair, what's for Dick James, and what's for us is nobody can stop that. Nobody can stop that. So I don't mind giving out my jewels, bro, or giving out jewels to those who deserve it, those who are willing to learn and use it or know, and benefit from it. If it can help you, great. Don't look for no credit from it like that. We all want credit, don't get me wrong, but the credit is due to the creator because it's not my gift. But I do want to say, just while I have this, when it comes time for that financial breakthrough or that money or whatever it is, so be it. I'm going to still be the same slate that y'all seeing right here, just with the opportunity to go and move when I feel. Right now, we in survival mode. We all trying to survive. Most of us, you know what I mean? Even those that's playing like they got all the money in the world, like, who? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not at it for the material things. I'm in it for the work and raising up our people's mind frames with this knowledge and whatnot. So we can have a billion DJ Despairs that have that mind frame, built not you specifically, but those that share the mind frame of growing, preserving the culture, preservation matters, building community development. That's that award you got, DJ Despair, is because of the work you do in the community. That's recognized. The servicing of people. What services and value do you bring? The same with Dick James, those awards, and being in those rooms with those people at Stardom Magazine, and Double XL, and knowing these stars and being able to do it's because of your value and because of what you do and who you are. The favor that's placed on you. So the favor that's placed on us, it's on us to do this audio forensics. It's on us to do this music doctors. Hashtag the music doctors. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the real is going to remain. You're going to have to choose the real or the fake. And hey, take it or let it alone, like the minister says. But that's why I do it, bro.
And ever since your followings and teachings from the minister, you know, between the three of us and our knowledge of self and the growth, there's a lot of things that I've realized now that you bring a lot of positivity and strength around us, especially from the things that we've gone through, because a lot of things and obstacles in life had put us three here in a position in life that we had to basically separate to reconvene by the powers of God. Because I woke up one day and Allah said, yo, call Slate. The Phenom kept popping up in my face every day, and I'm sitting there going, I miss being on this radio show. The flyer from the Boom Bap thing, I'm like, I miss doing this. And then when we reconnect, and basically from 5 minutes of you being on the phone with me, we were back to business like we never left.
Indeed, brother.
And we didn't even got to speak on it. It was just like, you good? I'm good. We good? We good. Can we move forward? No problem. And that's a respect that a lot of people can have, despite the fact of some of the things that had happened in our careers and stuff. But I look at it, sometimes you got to separate for the hunger to see who's really real and what's what. Because sometimes you could tell people anything you want. This person ain't cool. This person ain't this. I don't believe in this person, and da-da-da-da-da. But when some people have been there from the beginning and watched certain people build things from the beginning, certain people do certain paths. A lot of the stuff we do online, we know we've been doing it from day one, but there's a lot of people copying and acting like they just made it up. You know what I mean? And it's funny when you get after a while where people test you and challenge you. And this team right here, I respect you all. I'm glad that we got a chance to go and speak on each other, and in a respect way where we're not overpowering each other or anybody's better than each other. We all three individually help each other in different ways. And I respect the fact that this is a future that I can see growing into a bigger thing now, because we've already been on this path.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with it now? And you know what I mean?
Take
and
it
you
up
can go
some
back
more.
and look at the interviews with me and Slate and all the stuff where we already spoke on a lot of the things that is up. That's why a lot of it was brief on this show, because there's other two shows on his platform and my platform where you can see the interviews we did and touch base on things. And if you go back and look at those interviews, you can tell we never missed a beat. We just now finally back on our feet. And that's just how it is.
Yep, that's how it is, brother. That's how it is, brothers. And you know what, man? Again, I appreciate this brief opportunity to share with those watching this just tiny pieces and fragments of what they'll be connecting to by utilizing this platform. You know what I mean? Everybody got a microphone. Everybody got a camera. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody's a rapper. Everybody got all the money in the world. Everybody got all the flyest cars. Everybody got all the best pussy. Like, really? You're not going to get that over here. We're going to be real. We're going to be who we are. And you're going to see this here evolve into something that's not out there. That's the only reason why I said everybody got a podcast and a mic. That's not what this is. You can categorize it and yeah, or whatever. But audio forensics and what this is going to evolve into, we have yet to see. We have yet to see. But there's some powers connected to it, and it's only going to grow and get better from here. So I appreciate you all for tapping in, man. Salute to y'all, brothers 1000. And without any further ado, I'm done, man. Y'all good?
I'm good.
I'm awesome.
Just
All right,
make sure
man.
right now, if you all need any marketing or packaging, hit us up. We have a crazy network. We do show results. We do have digital imprint on what we do. We are the real industry club. Holla at your boys.
Till next time, peace.
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 The most versatile hip hop radio station in the world. Phenomenal Radio.